Shall we take another example?
The tea itself becomes aware and awakened. Amanita is fully conscious, meaning the water that you are drinking is somewhat conscious. It is aware that it is water, it is Amanita in water, and it is also aware of that you are drinking it. And it is also aware of that it needs some pre-programming. That means that the blessings that you are giving the water is of vital importance, meaning you.
Okay, there's more, but mushrooms, yeah. I will show you more of that. Let's do this one first so that I have big lips. Do you like this? Humankind is one big chemical industry experiment. I don't know. Playing with poisons. There's an addiction process that occurs with any dose of psychedelics. I'll show you my candle while I read this. Are you ready? It's long. Please get comfortable. What I mean to address here is the person who's looking for answers to chronic illness. The person who's desperate to try anything and gets further injured in that process, landing a life of much more suffering and hardship than they already had with their condition. People in their lives may pass it off as a bad trip, sweep it under the carpet, and call it their journey, saying it was supposed to happen, they had to learn something from it. Meanwhile, it was an injury and not a positive experience of any kind for anyone. Maybe no one even realizes that their brain health is declining from injury, whether a decline that continues over time after one trip or a steady decline with each psychedelic experience. There's an addiction process that occurs with any dose of psychedelics. The addiction to how do we survive that? That was a heck of a ride. And my spiritual teacher told me how much I've grown by doing it. And I think I'm ready to do it again. One of the addictive aspects of psychedelics is the adrenaline surge that occurs when the poison enters our bloodstream. When any kind of poison enters the bloodstream, our body has to release a steroid compound to soften the blow so the brain, heart, and lungs don't take the hit as hard. A dose, even a microdose of psychedelics, is no different. As our brain starts to get poisoned, it sends an emergency signal to the brain stem and then out to the adrenals, looking for the adrenals to save the brain. An intense adrenaline blend is released to stop strokes from occurring and blood clots from forming, in part by thinning the blood and in part by opening blood vessels back up with steroid compounds as the vessels are closing from the poison. Why do we need that blood thinning effect? The same that occurs when we eat the radical fats. Because our immune system responds to any poison in the body as a foreign invader, trying to stop the invader before it gets to the most critical places in the body, such as the brain, heart, and lungs. Our immune cells trying to devour the poison can develop into a blood clot. Our immune system is built with knowledge in it, information in it, to take risks that protect us. Our immune system knows that a kerosene-like corrosive substance, adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, is coming its way in seconds to dissolve the clot, which will separate the immune cells and try to open blood vessels. So there is less constriction and poisons can leave the brain and body. Now, adrenaline isn't kerosene, it isn't paint thinner, yet it has a similar property in that it can start to dissolve and break down a blood clot that's thickening. So, as our immune system gathers around the poison, in this case a psychedelic substance, and tries to eat it up and absorb it, a large number of white blood cells surround the drug's poison chemical compounds. Skipping. This chaos is part of the addiction to psychedelics, even to microdoses of psychedelics or any other poisonous substance such as alcohol. That adrenaline released into the bloodstream to thin the blood and protect the brain in that moment from onslaught of chemical compounds also saturates the brain, creating extreme adrenaline highs. At the same time, these poisonous chemical compounds, such as the ones found in psychedelics, start hitting neurotransmitters and neurons, and a hallucinogenic effect occurs. The brain effects we associate with these substances both. Okay, I'm gonna continue a little bit because this can heal you physically and spiritually. Wait, I'm jumping because this is several pages, but in the end, it's about. It's not what I'm about to say, but it's right in front of me. Alcohol's poison. All in one, it's going to give me a great night. Except it wouldn't feel like such a great night after all. But the point here is that such highs, they're extremely taxing. And the adrenaline that comes from exposing ourselves to psychedelics is extremely expensive, especially if you're already struggling with viruses or brain damage or life in general. This takes us to the understanding of the sick and the not so sick, a concept you can read about in the Brain Saver book. Someone who is not so sick, which is to say that they're able to live their lives without symptoms getting in the way and do most things that might not be good, but get get away with it, may try out psychedelics because they're insecure, lacking confidence, or feeling lost. Their chances of injury from the substances may be a lot less depending on how much and how often they partake in the psychedelics because they're not already living with limitations. If someone lives with more persistent symptoms such as insulin resistance, acne, mild depression, or anxiety, or what their doctors deem hormone imbalance, they're going to feel the effects of those psychedelics a lot more. Then there is the person who is outright sick, who's been diagnosed with multiple conditions, who experiences 30 or 50 different symptoms. Someone in this position can get injured with psychedelics quickly, resulting in a setback that creates even worse symptoms and worsen the symptoms they already have. These people who get injured are the canaries, showing us that psychedelics are not helpful or fruitful. Microdosing is just a new term for moderation. Instead of 10 cups of coffee in a day, someone decides to do it 1 or 2, calling that moderation. Instead of a full-blown psychedelics experience, someone decides to take a smaller dosage, calling that microdosing. Here's the wrinkle. Who's to say exactly what moderation is for anyone? One person's psychedelics in moderation is very different from another. It varies for everyone. No one wants to go to an ayahuasca party and drink a whole bowl of ayahuasca for their very first time, although many have, without realizing it, ingested a large dose of ayahuasca or mushrooms all at once. We tend to start with something small, a butterfly tattoo or a few words, some scripture or a quote, something we feel connected to, that we want written on our bodies. Yes, I jumped. Most don't start out with a full sleeve or body tattoo, planning to spend entire days at the tattoo studio. That comes later. Once we're so addicted to our tattoos, so in love with them that we want to keep getting more. It's not the first tattoo. You go in saying, okay, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to get this little one. It's tattoo microdosing. Every addiction starts out with microdosing to some extent. Oh man, this is a good book. I'm probably going to be, yeah, well, can I just recommend everyone to get this book, please? If you want a healthy brain, it's very helpful. But this is deep though. Because when it comes to the... Anyone still here? You're a nerd. And when it comes to the amanita mushroom microdosing, they say that the psychedelics are no longer there when you dry it and make a tea. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not scared of trying that, even after reading that, but it's not my first go-to. None of this is. I don't think nature in pure form is the worst thing we can do in any case or scenario. But I think we're at the point of time in history where we all need that superhero diet if we want to thrive. So it's very handy to have high quality information and to take ourselves, our brains seriously. It's very helpful. And maybe the most helpful things are free, like sunshine, trees, nature, clouds, grass, flowers, air. But when there's something that can help us even more, of course, if we have the means, most of us would do it. We would. I wish you a healthy brain. Take care. Good luck.
The straw is reminding the waters of your body. Healing is very simple. It just is a frequency that you need to add, and the restoration of all physicality comes out of it. Magic is much simpler than what you think. Everything is magic. Okay. What would you like to create?
Yeah. Magic.
When you find it out, then it is being expressed, and actually it is already created. And you can begin to sense it everywhere around you if you want to. This is how magic works. This is how all reality works. We thrive because we understand a very simple law of what you call electromagnetic or expression.
You know, I'm just going to give you that recap of what they said. It's been a while since I heard about the amanita, but basically they recommended us to go out and find some Amanita muscaria. But what I think they wanted to say, I think it's because I asked about alcohol or something, and they say, oh, it's much better if you use mushrooms. And I said something, something, and they say, yeah, but if you're first going to drug yourself, it's better. But they never said it's not a drug. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But they actually said that it's very. I had a video on this. I think I deleted it. But they pretty much said that it can bring you better sleep and into flow state, and so it wasn't like you're seeing visions. It's not like full-blown psychedelic. It's just more like a, I just heard substance, but it's not even, you're fully yourself, you're fully present, and you on this, I'm pretty sure you can drive a car, you can do anything that you could do otherwise. But yeah, I highly don't recommend doing anything with that unless you're know what you're doing. It's just what they said, and it's still powerful, so it deserves all our respect. I just think it's worth sharing. It was when I heard this, I was about 29 or 30, and I never heard it. I never in my life knew that this mushroom can be used without being bad for you. So, yeah, I think my point here, you know it, it's already that there's two sides of every story, and it's up to us to increase our standards. And what that is, your call, your call.